I've been talking about values a lot recently, but what exactly is a value and how does it differ from a goal? Let's find out. So Russ Harris sums this up really nicely by saying, values are words that describe how we want to behave in this moment and on an ongoing basis. In other words, values are your heart's deepest desires for how you want to behave, how you want to treat yourself, how you want to treat others, and how you want to treat the world around you. And sometimes people I work with will say to me, I value my family, or I value my friendships, or I value my health. And if we think back to that definition that Russ gave us, the definition of values, that doesn't seem to quite fit with qualities of behaviour. So I can't be family and I can't be health. What we can call family, friends and health, for example, are domains. And then within these domains, we have our values. And there's various ways of looking at domains. And I'm going to make an entirely separate video about them, as I have some tools we can use, and they will be too long to discuss in this video. So why are values actually useful in therapy? There's a few reasons. They can create meaning. So quite often I find that most of the people I work with are disconnected from their sense of purpose, which then has an impact on their mental health and their well-being. And through values, we can work out what we want our lives to stand for and to bring some meaning to it. I also find that when I'm talking to people I'm working with, they report that their symptoms or the things they do to reduce unpleasant feelings or uncomfortable emotions actually move them away from what is important in their lives. And helping them understand that can show that in the long term, behaviours such as avoidance don't really work for them. And values can be really handy as an outcome measure. So in other words, they can tell us what's working for you and what isn't working for you. So if you're in therapy or you're trying out some new behaviours or some new things, and those behaviours or that therapy is moving you towards your values, so they're moving you towards what's important and meaningful in your life, then to me, that's working. If it's moving you away from your values, then it's not working. And it may seem like sometimes that what you're doing is making you feel worse, but is moving you in the direction consistent with your values. And this opens up a big debate within the therapy world. And the debate is this, I'll just touch on it briefly in this video. So in services, how do we measure if what we are doing is working? Well, the most common currently is symptom reduction. So we give you questionnaires that ask about symptoms that relate to low mood or symptoms that relate to anxiety, and we ask you to score them. And if over time those scores go down, it usually indicates that your mood or your anxiety is improving. But does that mean you're getting better? What would happen if you came to me struggling with, say, social anxiety, and we found a way where you could do whatever work that you do online and you would never have to leave the house again and you would never have to socialise with anyone again? Would your anxiety score go up or down? It may go down because you no longer have that threat of having to socialise anymore. But I would argue that by not leaving your house, that would not be an improvement in your life. How about if we did some work together and we get you to a place where you, say, attend your best friend's party that you really wanted to go to, but in order to attend that party, your anxiety is higher than usual. Your questionnaire score is now higher than it was, indicating worsening symptoms. But you've managed to engage in a really meaningful and valued activity, something that you wanted to do. In fact, there's research out there that suggests that the correlation between anxiety symptoms and functional impairment is actually really weak. What that means is it isn't the case that as anxiety goes down, quality of life goes up. We can see an increase in anxiety along with an increase in your quality of life. So what I'm saying is looking only at symptom reduction as a measure of progress without looking at what you want from life and what your values are and what you find meaningful and important may not be the best way to measure progress. So how do values differ from goals? Goals are things you are aiming for in the future. These could be things you want to get, things you want to have, or things you want to achieve. Whereas values are how you want to be or behave right now in this moment and on an ongoing basis for the rest of your life. And as you want to behave as you move towards those goals, whether you achieve that goal or not. Or put another way, values describe how you want to behave while goals describe what you want to get. There's a good example from Stephen Hayes, and he says it's like the difference between getting married and being loving. If you want to be loving and caring, then that's a value, as you can't complete being loving and caring. It's always ongoing. Whereas getting married is a goal. It is something that can be achieved and something that can be completed. And even if you did get married, it is possible to not be loving and caring within that marriage, although the marriage probably wouldn't last very long. Another way to look at it is values are a direction we constantly try and move in, not the destination. So if the value was to head west, we can never complete that. We can never go to the end of west, whereas a goal could be crossing a specific river whilst we are heading west. So some examples of goals might be to get a job, buy a house, find a partner, get married, have kids, win the next football match, get a strike at 10-pin bowling, run 10k in under an hour, that kind of thing. And some examples of values might be to be loving, being honest, being caring, being courageous, being compassionate, being fun, being independent. I'm going to leave a link to a list of values in the description below. It's got 40 or so values there. So you can check out that list for some more examples. It might give you some inspiration. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope it's got you thinking a bit more about what values mean and how they differ from goals. So have a good day and take care. Bye-bye.